Before we kick off this episode 2 of the Father on a Mission podcast, I just want to go ahead and say it again. Thank you so much for all the comments, the likes, the new subscribers, shares, and all the interactions that I've had with you guys from the first episode. It means a lot, bottom of my heart. I couldn't thank you enough. So thanks again. But for now, let's get into the episode. Everybody talks about hustle, grind mode, no sleep, 4 a.m. wake ups, the whole lot. But let me ask you something. Why do most people who hustle hard disappear after 2 weeks? Not a shot, not taking a shot. I'm one of those people. But why is that? Hustle, or to hustle, is an emotion. It's emotional and it's attached to how you're feeling. Discipline is structured or structural. Hustle feels powerful, but discipline builds power. Today, I sort of want to dive into the difference between the two and why one of them will change your life, especially if you're a father. Welcome back to Father on a Mission podcast. The first bit I want to touch on is that this whole hustle culture, in my opinion, is a lie, mate. It's the biggest fraud. Up there with all those scammers, you know. And why I believe that it's a lie is because when people refer to the word hustle or how they use it in their sentences, it depends on feeling, or hustle and motivation sort of work together. How many times do you hear someone say, nah, I can't be bothered, I'm not motivated today? Or last night I was really motivated to do X, Y, and Z, but today I don't feel like doing it. Or they have a bright idea today and that idea fades next week. That's why I believe hustle, motivation, it's unstable. Because if your progress depends on how you feel, you're already in trouble. I want to share an experience, but before I share an experience, I haven't made it to the person I'm trying to become, right? So when I say these things, take it with a grain of salt. I say these things because it's what I've witnessed in my own life, not because I'm some guru or I've got the qualifications to be able to give people advice. I'm not your therapist, psychologist, right? Again, father on a mission. That's all I am. But I have plenty of days where I'm working, come home physically, mentally, emotionally drained, tired, don't really feel like doing much. My kids don't care that I'm tired. I don't expect my partner to care that I'm tired because when I come home, I still have a job to do here, right? But that's besides the point. The point is, I'm tired when I come home and I don't feel up to it. But still, I gotta get stuff done to achieve the life, to achieve my goals that I've always wanted, right? And so the question I keep telling myself, or asking myself, sorry, the question I keep asking myself is, well, what have you done to deserve your rest? What have you accomplished today for you to be able to say, I want to relax today? And if this is me speaking to myself, and if you haven't reached the life that you want, or if you haven't hit your goals for the day, then why are you resting? We've got work to do. That's my mindset, plain and simple. I've still got something to do or something to accomplish. I'm going to do it within the day because that's what I told myself I'm going to do. Whether I'm motivated or not, Plain and simple, in layman's terms, I've got shit to do and I'm going to get it done. There are days I don't feel like even doing this, but that's exactly why I do it. Because, well, even though I don't feel like doing it, when I do hop behind the camera, turn the lights on, turn the sign on, chuck the camera on, I enjoy it. I love it. I love doing this. This is what I want to do, and one of my goals. I want to do this full time, and I hope I can achieve it. Or not, I hope, but I'm going to achieve it. I really believe that. But it all goes back to, if I want to achieve that, I got to put in the hard yards, and not just when I feel like it. Now, I touched on hustle and motivation and my thoughts and opinions on that. Now I want to touch on what I believe discipline to be. Now, first, before I tell you what I believe discipline is, let me tell you what I believe discipline isn't, right? I don't believe, for my circumstances, I don't believe discipline is having extreme routines, waking up at 4 a.m. If it doesn't benefit me, what do I got to do it? I don't got to do that, or toxic productivity, burning myself out on the daily. It may work for some, but for what I am trying to do and the goals I'm trying to hit, it's not what I envision discipline to look like. Now, what I do envision it to look like is when I make a promise to myself, I'm keeping it. So if I promise myself, if I make a promise to myself that I'm going to record today, I'm going to record today. Or if I'm going to write an episode, I'm going to write an episode. Film a TikTok, I'm going to film it. If I'm going to just go for a walk, work out in the gym, I'm going to do it. And I'm just training my mind to not think the opposite of doing it, right? And it's showing up when it's inconvenient. Again, it goes back to doing something even when you don't want to, or you're not feeling motivated enough. And the most important thing for me is I'm acting based on my standards that I have for myself, not my mood. And I love that line. I love it. When I was writing up the episode, that was the line that did me, is I act based on my standards, not my moods. Because it goes back to what I said earlier. In my life in general, if I made decisions based on how I was feeling, I don't think I would have gotten very far. And I've made some pretty emotional decisions in the past, and they're ones that I tend to not want to think about. You know what I mean? But discipline is choosing your future self over your current mood, if that makes sense. Let that sit. Just let it sit for a bit. Choosing your future self over your current mood. Bang. See, the man I want to become can't depend on motivation. I just can't. And that guy in the future cannot rely on motivation. Motivation is powerful, and I believe motivation is a key or a factor, but it's discipline and grind that gets you through when your motivation can't. Because again, tying it back to me being a father, those days when I come home burnt out, my kids don't care, nor do I expect them to. It's They don't need to care. They don't have to care. They're just excited to see their dad. Right? Their little innocent minds can't fathom yet, what the real world is like. So they just think dad goes out and dad comes back. And when dad comes back, they're excited. So who am I to rob them of those moments and just be like, no, leave me alone, or just go over there, I'll play with you later, or brush them off? Why would I do that? Those are my kids, right? And so if I had to wait until I was motivated to, play with my kids, or have the energy to greet them when I come home from work, Every, 1 in 5 times would I greet them. But nah, I just gotta be disciplined, and I just gotta do what I gotta do. So my kids don't care if I'm tired. My wife or my partner, future wife, my partner doesn't need a motivated man. She needs a steady one. My future doesn't need hype and 3 million likes and comments. It just needs consistency. And I truly, truly believe that. Steps that I'm taking right now to build discipline, it's simple things like trying to get up on the first ring of my alarm for work, to give myself enough time to where I'm not rushing. Little thing, right? Someone might have that down pat. Good on you, mate. But these are the things I'm doing. So it's, waking up on the first thing, or taking the rubbish out even when you really don't want to take the rubbish out. Every time I come home and we finish eating dinner, I know it's part of our routine, my partner and I, where she does the cooking, and when we're done, she'll take the plates back and load the dishwasher. But that's after she's taken the rubbish off and whatever. And whose job is to take out the rubbish? It's mine. Just fine. She didn't assign it to me, but it's my job, and I got to do it. But yeah, that's another one. So it's my alarm. Doing the household chores, uh, being there for my kids, and playing with my kids. I recently just put together my son's bike, and now that's on his mind. That's the hottest thing right now, and so I spend every moment I can after work, before he goes to bed and before I have to go to bed, teaching him how to ride his bike. And on the weekends, I try to take him out on the road, and we do it there so we can ride for longer. There's writing in my journal. Now that's something I didn't just start, but I've started that, or I started journaling back in 2016, and I've been writing in it consistently. Story for another day as to why I started that, but journaling is another way I try to build discipline. Um, Recording every day, whether it be recording a podcast, filming a TikTok, Instagram reel, Facebook, whatever. That's another one. Um, Reading is another one I like to do. Because I spend a lot of my time during the day at work behind a computer screen, when I come home I try to unwind from screens, and so I'll take up a book and try and read that, and just to sort of help my mind relax from the chaotic workplace that I come from, and so reading is one of them. But if I was to go back and name them, so it'd be simple things like waking up from my alarm, doing the household chores, being there for my kids, journaling, recording, filming content, and reading. Those are all habits that I'm trying to teach myself, so I can build discipline, and more than discipline, just building the person that I want to become in the future. And these are all the things that it's going to help that guy 5 years from now, even 3 years from now, be better than the person you see before you today. And that is the process that I enjoy, and I look forward to seeing the fruits of my labour. So if I was to leave a little challenge with everyone, it would be to set your standard, right? Now, everyone's standard is going to be different depending on what you want to do in your life, but just set your standard. Set yourself one goal for the day, a daily goal. No phones at dinner. Go for a walk, a 10-minute walk. Read 10 pages of a book. Have one honest conversation either with yourself, a partner, a friend, your parents, your siblings, whoever. And take one uncomfortable action, or do one uncomfortable action daily. just mix it up, get creative, try and think of ways to test yourself and grow, because a famous quote that I've always had in my head, don't know who said it, don't know where I heard it for the first time, but there's no growth in the comfort zone. And so that's where I live right now, is trying to grow, trying to learn, trying to build, trying to see what I'm capable of through putting myself in uncomfortable situations. So I encourage you to do the same. Stop trying to hustle harder. Let's just raise yourself, or raise each other, raise yourself one standard at a time. Discipline grows in small reps. So don't change your life this week. Change your standard. And let's see where that takes us. So, in closing, I just want to leave you with this: hustle is loud, discipline is quiet. Hustle impresses strangers, discipline builds legacy. Your kids won't remember how hard you hustle, they'll remember how steady you were. Comment your one standard you set yourself for this week. And if this helped you, share it with someone who you feel like needs structure, not motivation. Or just share it in general. Thank you so much for tuning into episode 2 of the Father on a Mission podcast. Once again, I'm Nathan, Father on a Mission. See you in the next one.